Hi there, Andreas here with ExpressPad's Finger Drumming, and today I'll take a closer look at DrumMic'a. DrumMic'a is a virtual drum kit from Sennheiser, and the specialty is that it comes absolutely free of charge, which means that you only need to go to the Sennheiser website, register there, and then you can download this virtual drum kit to your computer. From there, you just need to install it, and then it works in either Contact 5, the full version, or in Contact 5 Player, which you can download for free from the Native Instruments website. And once you have opened it in Contact, it looks like this. And as you can see, you have different microphones on the GUI. And those microphones are placed where, under normal circumstances, a drum kit is recorded in. That means that you have one microphone for the hi-hat, two for the snare drum, two for the bass drum, so one for the front, one for the back, here for the snare drum, one for the bottom, one for the top, one microphone for each tom, and one set of overhead microphones for the cymbals. By the way, the drum kit, it's a Vahan Acro drum kit with Sabian cymbals and hi-hat, and the specialty now is that you can change these microphones. That means that Sennheiser has sampled each and every drum with different microphones, and by just clicking you can change the microphones that you hear when you play this virtual drum kit. And as you've seen, I've just clicked on the hi-hat microphone, and currently this one here is selected. You see that on the blue bar, and if you click another one, you see a picture of this microphone in this specific hi-hat recording setting. Down here you have a description of what this microphone is, and by the way, they used 15 different microphones in order to get DrumMic'a recorded. And then you can see with these little icons what this microphone is for, and with a little description how this microphone sounds. Okay, so what if I want to have a different hi-hat microphone? Let's just choose this one here. Double click and you get back to your main screen. And yeah, you can also see that the hi-hat microphone picture here has changed now. Another thing that I would like to show you is the mixer. And here you can see that we have a preset area on the top left. There you can choose from one of over 30 presets. And that's quite nice, because here you will see that this drum kit can be engineered in order to work with any style. So here you have jazz, right? And then you have metal, pop, reggae, R&B, rock, lo-fi cranked, extreme ambient, default, blues, Britpop, disco. I mean, actually everything that you can think of. Another thing that's quite nice is the view. So you have the auditor view and the drummer view, and especially if you work with headphones, you will notice a big difference when you play in the drummer or the auditor views. Okay, so that's about the presets and the view. And by the way, I've created another video where I just jam on a couple of different presets here in order to make you see how those presets sound. But let's go to the mixer channels. Here you have the standard mixer functionalities like a volume fader, you have a little meter, you have the name down here for that particular channel. You can solo or play this kit piece in dry mode. You can adjust the panning within the drum kit. You have one knob which lets you dial in more of the overhead microphone signals of that channel, and you have a reverb knob where you can just choose the amount of reverb that you want to have on that particular channel. As you can see, here's this blue button. That means you can select these different channels for the effects view. That means you have for each and every channel, you have in this section over here the option to change the EQ settings, the transient designer, and you have a compressor here with the basic functionalities, and here you can access them. Yeah? Over here you have the reverb channel in which you can change the high pass and the low pass settings for your reverb, and also have access to a couple of presets that you can choose from. Furthermore, on the overhead channel, you have the chance to increase the stereo width of your overhead microphones, which is also quite nice if you want to use some spatial effects, for example. Another thing, and probably the last one on the mixer here, is you can link the bass drum microphones and the snare drum microphones. As you've seen in the beginning, there are two microphones for the bass drum and for the snare drum, and you can either control them one by one, so that's the bass drum here, or you can link them, and then you don't need to change the volume separately anymore. Furthermore, you have this phase inversion switch, which you can use if you feel that you're getting some phase issues here. Okay, so the next one is the options menu. And here it's really amazing how much effort Sennheiser have put into this plugin, also in terms of usability for the end user. So here, for example, you have the velocity curve setting. There you can choose from the linear or degressive or progressive curves. That is the same as, for example, a logarithmic, or this would be an exponential curve. But also you can just draw in your personal curve that you would like to see or that you would like to play with. And just as a last point here, this axis, the x-axis, translate into input velocity, and that's the output velocity on your y-axis. The next one here, also really handy, is the MIDI mapping. You can use a general MIDI default mapping. That's really great because there are other virtual drum modules like EasyDrummer, for example, that don't offer that. But with this general MIDI setting here, you can use that for your standard drum productions where you need general MIDI. But also you can use the EasyDrummer mapping, you can use Superior Drummer, BFD, and Addictive Drums, as well as some V-Drums settings for electronic drums. Here you have the individual outputs, which means that you can route each and every kit piece or channel here within DrumMic'a to a different channel in your DAW, and that gives you the opportunity to apply some external processing with some of your favorite effects and so on. And lastly, here you have the snare bleed. This one is also a great feature because it adds to the realism that you will get from this plugin here. It means that the snare drum, when it's hit, is also recorded by the other microphones within the recording setup. You can here choose how much of that snare drum sound is bleeding into the other microphone channels. In a nutshell, I want to say that DrumMic'a is a great virtual drum kit. I really like it, and I really think it's amazing that Sennheiser have made it available for free, because they put a lot of effort into creating this virtual drum kit with all the samples, with all the programming, and yeah, so it's really a lot of work to get such a virtual drum kit done. And what I also like a lot is that they didn't limit the usage. As far as I know, when I read the Euler correctly, and please do on your own if you want to rely on that, you can use it for commercial use as well. So it's not just for personal use, not just for training. It's really, you can use it for your music productions, and that's really great. Eventually, if you're interested in finger drumming, please subscribe to this channel. If you like that video, please give it a like. I've put some links in the video description below so you know where you can download it. There's also a full review that you can find on the ExpressPads finger drumming website. And yeah, enjoy this virtual drum kit. It's great, and enjoy finger drumming.